Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then don't forget to subscribe down below, and without much further ado, let's get on with the video. Today's video, as you can see from the title, is mind-blowing to me because I've finished my first year at Ravensbourne University. And it's been a year, okay? It's been a year. So this time last year, I was actually in Florida. I was on my Walt Disney World holiday, only dreaming of going and studying film, and now after a year, my dreams might have changed ever so slightly. So this past year I have learnt a lot, but at the same time I've not learnt as much as I thought I was going to. Now I don't know whether this was just because of the way Ravensbourne teaches, or if I'm just not clicking with it. At least I still know that this is something I want to go into, just not necessarily directing, which is what I obviously, as you guys know, was very desperate to go into. So for those of you that don't know, I am currently studying at Ravensbourne University in London, which is the building with massive circular windows right next to the O2, and I'm studying digital film production. It's a 3-year course, and as I said, I've just finished my first year. The first term we were set a task of making 4 films in the space of, I think it was something like 10 weeks, I don't know, however long a term is, we had to make 4 films. And the first film we made was Out of Order, which is on this channel. I'll leave a link somewhere, it might be in the description if you want to go and see it, which was interesting. It didn't go anywhere near to plan. I had to be the actress in it. Being the femme fatale of this short film we created wasn't necessarily my kind of thing, so that one was interesting, and I did the editing for that one, which was fun, but I didn't really learn anything new from doing that. Now it comes on to the second short film I created, and I created this with 4 or 5 guys. I couldn't actually be on set when we filmed because I'd made prior arrangements and I couldn't cancel on them. I just couldn't. So I was like, I'll just be the producer for this one and I'll just get everything ready for you so you can go and shoot this film and it'll be amazing. And these guys were very stereotypical guys wanting to do things about sex and wanting to do things about relationships and wanting to do things about football and all this stuff, and I just didn't feel comfortable. Also, they knew what they were doing to an extent, and I was just here like, I don't know what film is, what is happening, I haven't learned anything yet to give to this group. And it went along, they did the shoot, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's something that I specifically said or whatnot, but they just started like bullying me in a way, and I was just like, I'm not having this. So have not worked with those people again and do not want to work with those people. That's what I'm going to tell you. If you ever get bullied, even if it's just them making like small remarks, which is what they did, they never specifically bullied me, it just felt a bit wrong, I just pushed them out of my life and I was like, I don't need you. I don't need you. And now this came to the third film, which we got to make a landscape film, which is also on this channel, and I love it so much. We went to a graveyard and we filmed this amazing landscape film, which I love with all my heart. I was the cinematographer for it. I loved it because I got to work with my friends again, and we all banded together and made this incredible film that I'm so proud of. And the whole time uni was telling me, you have to work with people that you don't necessarily work with, you need to learn these new things, and I completely understand that. But when I have the experience of working with new people and them instantly like seeming to hate me, I was just like, nah, I'm gonna work with my friends. And then the last film I made was called The Dappy Knight, which I don't know if I've actually posted on here, I'm not entirely sure, but I really enjoyed doing it. But again, I had to go to work because I need to be able to afford to be at uni, and to do that I have to have a job, and so it was a kind of a mess, and London's expensive, kids. I ended up kind of being the makeup artist, I guess, which I'm fine with. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed working with these people. They were really nice, and I was working with a friend that got me onto this group, and I met new people, but again, it didn't feel comfortable to me because the people I was with were much better than me. What it feels like at film school is that if you don't already know film and know how to do something and have your niche, you're not really gonna learn it. It's just very hard to get into a group with someone that knows what they're doing if you don't know what you're doing, because the people that know are going to go with the people that know, and then the people that don't know are kind of just stuck in the corner like, someone please help me. Also in that term we had to write an essay, and I chose to do mine on horrors because, as you guys know, I love me some horrors, and I got an A- on the essay and then a B from the films I made, so it's all dandy, okay? I passed the first term, with flying colours, might I just say. Yes, I did. Now we come on to term 2, which has since been cut from Ravensbourne's curriculum for DFP students because it just didn't work, okay? I don't think there's a single student that was in my year that thought, yes, this term was beautiful and I learnt things. It just felt like a mess, and I'm gonna say that now. They have changed the whole curriculum, so technically everything I'm saying about Ravensbourne isn't accurate anymore because they've changed it, and I don't know how they're changing it, but it's gone, so this isn't gonna harm any of you if you want to go to Ravensbourne. But it was an editing and post-production course, and I learnt nothing about editing, and I edited 1 film out of the 3 we had to create to show our editing capabilities, which does not make sense to me, but we're gonna go with it. The first thing we made was a photo story, so we had to take photos and then make them into a narrative and do that. And again, I worked with my friend Bethany, who I love a lot, and she's great, and we just kind of made a film. And I also worked with Cressy and Lucy for that one, but then Lucy it all became a thing. But I love my friends a lot, and again, working with them was extremely fun, and we made something which I'm kind of proud of because it worked to an extent. Then we had to make a dream sequence. It didn't work. I was director for that, and while I enjoyed directing, I've decided it's not something I want to do. Not that I can't do it, I just didn't have as much fun as I was expecting to have, and it just didn't click with me. Also, that film never was finished because it just flopped miserably. And then the last thing we did was we were sent a load of rushes, which is like unedited footage, and we had to come up with some kind of narrative, and I edited together this little thing to Mr. Sandman, and it worked, and I enjoyed it, and my lecturers enjoyed it, and they were like, this is cool, and I was like, yay! And for those films I still got an A, so yay. And also that term we had to write a contextual essay, kind of like a practice for our dissertation in year 3, which technically we need to start next year, which is terrifying, let me just say. But in that I did an essay about Disney, and if you guys want to read it, I can put it somewhere. It was how Disney princesses have evolved over the years, and I found out quite a lot, and I was proud, and now I know all the Disney princesses off by heart, and almost all their years they came out. They're not gay, they just were released. I got a B for that essay, so yay. And then finally, my favourite term was the term that we just had, which was the sound and cinematography term. And we just had to experiment with whatever we wanted to do as long as it was sound or cinematography based, which was so fun. I literally loved it so much. I kind of wish they'd put this term first and then put the making for films last, but I get that they wanted to test and see what we could create and then try and push our learning in a way, even though they didn't. I enjoyed this term a lot, and I made things that I'm extremely proud of, and if I can, I'll leave them up here. They are unlisted because there's copyright stuff, and I didn't want to just release this thing and have it not work. It might not work on phones, I'm not entirely sure, but they are there if you want to go and see them. One of them is Boca in Disneyland, which is where you kind of manipulate the light going into the camera to form a shape, and I turned the fireworks of illuminations into Mickey Mouse shapes, which was extremely fun, and I think it's an extremely beautiful video and I'm proud of it. And then the other thing is I took the first scene from 2017's It and got my friend CJ, who's Irish, who you guys will all meet in Disneyland Paris vlogs coming out soon, and I made him be Pennywise and me be Georgie and recreate the scene with dubbing our voices over Bill Skarsgård and whoever played Georgie. I'm extremely proud of it, and I've actually learned from doing this whole term, I love sound a lot, and I love post sound, so like ADR, which is automated dialogue replacement, and Foley, which is every sound you hear, like footsteps and people drinking things and all that, that's Foley, and I enjoyed it so much. I had the best lecturer ever. I literally, he made me interested in sound, and I can't thank him enough for that because he was really good. So the main things I've taken away from this year at Ravensbourne is, number 1, work with your friends. I know that they're telling you don't work with your friends, work with everyone else, but if you can work with at least one of your friends on whatever you make, you're gonna make more friends that way, and you're gonna feel comfortable and have someone there to like back you up instead of being completely and utterly shoved into a whole new group with people that don't understand you, don't get your creativeness. Second thing is that you're gonna make great friends at uni. No matter what they say, friendships at uni are like this crazy thing that just happens, and then you kind of look back and you're like, how have we been friends for a year? Like, it feels like we've known each other for a lifetime. And I love all my friends that I've made this year with so much of my heart. Is that gross and over the top? Yes, probably. I've made a lot of friends and I can't thank them enough for sticking with me and putting up with the Disney crazy Amelia that is this human right here. Also, I learned that the lectures aren't necessarily that great. That's just how it is. I sometimes felt like my money wasn't going where it should be, but at the same time I have learnt some things. I preferred it when we had smaller lectures instead of the massive lectures with the entire year. They weren't engaging, they were just PowerPoints, you know? Put a PowerPoint up, read this, and do that. But then when I had term 3 and we had this sound lecturer, he actually physically gave us a lecture and then went, do it. Like, do what I just told you with this, for instance, sound mixer or microphone. Do it, go. That way I've actually learnt how to use a microphone now, and learnt how to ADR and Foley and post sound and use programs like Audition, which if you know what that is, then you know what that is. I feel like there should be more hands-on lectures, because you can't really teach filmmaking, but you can teach how to use the equipment by having less people in a class and forcing them to utilise the equipment there and then. The last thing I took away from this year is that I love sound, as I said, and that's a surprise to me. And while I don't necessarily want to go into sound as a career, it's definitely something that I'm going to continue to learn about. And next year we have a module which is completely about post-production sound, so your gal's gonna go over there and do that lecture and do that segment of university, because it's interesting. Now, the biggest thing that I've learnt this year is actually that I enjoy making YouTube videos so much that this right here, having you guys watching my face and me sitting in my little room and going out to places and filming, is something that I love doing so much that I want to pursue it as a career. And I know that's really hard to do, and I know that it's both down to luck and hard work equally mushed together and kind of thrown into the atmosphere, and then hopefully hitting you back in the face with the success. It's so enjoyable to me that I get to make whatever I want to make, do it whenever I want to do it, get to talk to you guys, get to create things that I don't have to depend on other people to create, and I can just be me and make what I want to make and talk. It doesn't have to be an hour-and-a-half long film. It could just be me talking to you and I'm still doing something and I'm enjoying it, and it's still in the path of film and TV and production. It's just this new way of doing it, and I enjoy it so much. And so thank you for everyone out there that watches my videos and subscribes, because you don't understand how much I enjoy doing this. I hope to kind of pursue this more than I do filmmaking. Also, I just want to say about my job. I obviously work at the Disney store, and I am so thankful that I got that job, and it's almost been a year that I've been a cast member, which is crazy. And without having that job, one, I wouldn't be able to afford to live in London, and two, I wouldn't be able to go to Disney, like, ever. I'm very blessed and very grateful, and it took me so long to try and get these jobs and get out here. I've been on YouTube for 5 years. I tried 5 times to get a job at the Disney store. Like, good things can happen if you just kind of keep pushing. So yeah, what am I doing now with my spare time? Well, I'm working so much overtime. I could potentially fall flat on my face in a minute because I'm tired, but it's worth it because more money means the ability for me to go to Disneyland Paris again, either this year or next year or both, if I do enough overtime, which is what I'm doing with my life right now. And also I've been reading Harry Potter. Finally! I've never read Harry Potter. I've watched the films, obviously, but I'd never read these, and I just finished The Philosopher's Stone, and I get it, okay? I get it. Like, I get it, and it's only the first book and there's not even that many differences, so I'm just ready to read the rest. I've actually got to go now because I've got to go to work. So if you enjoyed today's video of me expressing my opinion on first year at Ravensbourne and what I'm doing now with my life, then do not forget to subscribe just here, and also click just here for my previous video, and click here for another video that will be different to that one. But until next time, bye!